All right, good evening, Commissioners, and welcome to our first budget hearing. Today we're holding our first public budget hearing to adopt the proposed millage rate for fiscal year 24-25 and establish a tentative budget and capital improvement program. The proposed budget reflects the previous discussions we've had at our workshop in July and represents a balanced budget that does not raise the millage rate for the 11th consecutive year. As you may remember, the proposed budget allows us to add 26 new police officers, 39 firefighters, and many of those are expected to work in the growing southeast portion of the city. We're also recognizing the need to expand mobility options in our region by investing in Sunrail so that residents and visitors can not only rely on roadways. Additionally, our proposed investments continue to focus on maintaining and delivering core city services to our residents. So today's hearing, we will hear brief comments from our Deputy Chief Financial Officer, Martin Carmarty. Martin.
Mayor, we have provided a updated budget and brief to all commissioners. We posted that information 2 weeks ago on the city's website, so it's been publicly available. The changes are not significant from what was presented at the July 15th budget hearing. We look forward to any action the council may take.
Okay, here we go. This is the first of two public hearings for the adoption of the millage rate and budget for the City of Orlando for fiscal year 24-25. At this first hearing, City Council will consider for adoption the proposed millage rate and tentative budget. At the second hearing, City Council will consider for adoption the final millage rate and budget. Mr. Clerk, City Clerk, will you read the title of the millage resolution?
Resolution of the City of Orlando, Florida, establishing the Valorum tax levy millage rate upon the assessed real property and business personal property tax rolls of the year 2024.
The proposed millage rate for the city for fiscal year 24-25 is 6.6500 mils, which is 3.91% higher than the rollback rate of 6.3997. Is there a motion to adopt the proposed millage rate?
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Sheehan, second by Commissioner Stewart. Martin?
Mayor, on July 15th, the council approved a proposed millage rate of 6.6500 mils so that the appropriate filing could be made with the property appraiser by the August deadlines for the trim notification process. The millage rate is within the parameters outlined by state formula and has not changed from the prior year and is to maintain the city's levels of service.
Okay, I do have requests for public comment on the millage rate and the tentative budget. I think it is probably actually on the tentative budget, so I'll hold those comments for the budget piece of this. Is there a discussion among commissioners on the millage resolution? If not, all in favor of the millage rate resolution?
We didn't take one. Yeah, we did. Yeah, we got one. Sorry.
Yeah, we got one. I sometimes forget to. Let's see. All in favor indicate so by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed? And so the motion carries. All right, Mr. Clerk, would you read the title of the budget resolution?
A resolution of the City of Orlando, Florida, adopting the annual budget of the City of Orlando, Florida for the fiscal year beginning October 1st, 2024 and ending September 30th, 2025.
Is there a motion on the tentative budget? Second. Motion by Commissioner Stewart, second by Commissioner Rose. Martin?
Mayor, at the July 15th budget workshop, we presented a balanced preliminary city budget. Materials detailing the budget were delivered to each commissioner and have been posted on the city's website since July 23rd. During the July 15th presentation, CFO Michelle McCrimmon noted that it was a working draft and revisions were possible as we received more information and refined estimates. In today's budgets, there are only a few changes compared to what was presented earlier. The total proposed budget is now $1,819,744,594, including a general fund budget of $708,572,543. The total budget is $1,401,603 greater than the budget presented on July 15th. The increase is primarily the net result of an increase in water reclamation capital project budgets, less a decrease in the CRA operating budget. The general fund budget is $772,000 more than the budget presented on July 15th. Based on a recent agreement with the Orange County Public Schools regarding the rate of reimbursement for school resource officers, we increased the revenue budget for police fees. This allowed us to add positions in Families, Parks, and Recreation, the Orlando Police Department, and executive offices. The revised budget details have been posted on the City Council agenda and the city's Management and Budget Vision website since August 26th.
Questions, comments? Okay. We do have 2 requests for public comments. Trini, you're back up.
Trini Quiroz, 2000 Hillcrest. I know the budget for Orange County because that's where I am the most active, and their budget is almost $7 billion. But I'm looking into all the information. What's the budget for the city of Orlando?
Martin, what's the exact total budget?
The total budget's $1,819,744,590.
For the entire city of Orlando?
Yeah, $1.8 billion.
Oh, wow. Well, anyway, I thought it was going to be more, so I was going to say, with almost 7 billion plus whatever billions, we can afford to have a safer community. I love this city. I came the first time to this city in January of 1964. You know how long ago that is? 60 long years. And this was nowhere to be what it is. Then I came back in 1970, and it was much better. But today, it's like the gentleman that spoke before. It's a world port. Everybody talks about Orlando. So for the sake of Orlando and the taxpayers of Orlando, those people who make uses, they are struggling because the rents are so high. $1,400 for one efficiency, $12,000 for a bedroom, that's crazy. Let's make affordable housing part of this city. I wish you had more than $1 billion, but $1 billion is a lot of money. I am for progress. I am for everything that is nice. But someone, when they spoke before, they talk about fairness, equity, and I like to add inclusion. The working class of this area deserves, because they already paid their bills 20 to 30 years ago to make Orlando, Orange County what it is today. So I'm for the people. I'll never be for the rich, the corporation, the developers. Whatever you can do with this $1 billion+ think of the people, make them happy. Thank you.
Thank you, Trini. Simone Carrasa.
Simon Sarasa, 12129 Breda Lane. I'm here today in support of the proposed budget for the city of Orlando. More specifically, I'm here today to support the proposal to add 2 vehicle-for-hire officers, which will be tasked with enforcement activities at the Orlando International Airport. Chapter 55 of the City of Orlando Code of Ordinances regulates the transportation of passengers for hire in our city, sets the minimum requirements for companies and individuals. These requirements are in place to reinforce state statutes and create additional safety measures to ensure public safety. There are 3 fundamental requirements outlined in Chapter 55. The first is that every driver must pass. It is a requirement that you not only provide proof of commercial liability insurance, but also list the City of Orlando as an additional insured on the policy to ensure companies remain in compliance with Florida Statute 324.031 and don't simply cancel their policy after the issuance of a permit. Today, there are 4 officers tasked with the administration and enforcement of Chapter 55. Miami-Dade County also has similar vehicle-for-hire regulations. The difference, they have an office staffed with 35 officers, of which 16 are tasked solely with enforcement activities. These numbers were provided in September of 2023 as a result of a public records request. Adding 2 enforcement officers at MCO is an essential first step that must be taken in order to provide additional resources towards limiting the solicitation and transportation of passengers by individuals not authorized to do so. The issues at MCO don't stop with in-person solicitors. Because of technology, the tactics employed by non-permitted individuals have evolved. The majority of this illegal activity is now done as a prearranged ride on the internet. You have individuals in full-on organizations with websites, scheduling capabilities, thousands of social media followers, and even agreements with travel agencies and hotels. These individuals don't travel to MCO to solicit, but simply to pick up and transport customers who already have a reservation booked with them. We found out some of these individuals have already been trespassed by GOA, some have dozens of speeding tickets, even traveling over 100 miles an hour, and is done about these individuals that circumvent the current system, which requires operators to pay a usage fee to MCO in order to fund the operation of our airport as well as future improvements. See, when we allow these individuals to roam freely without any fear of repercussions for their actions, we all lose. It's not just small businesses, it's all of us. Moving forward, I look forward to working together with all of you to modernize Chapter 55 in order to make it more efficient, which will help businesses remain in compliance, but also toughen penalties for those who willingly choose to disregard our laws. If you have any questions for me, or if you need any additional information, I'd be more than happy to provide that to you. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, is there a discussion among commissioners? Commissioner Gray?
Yeah, just a quick question for Martin on this one. Small item, talked about paving rehab, and we had talked about, we budgeted 4 million, and I know you told me in our meetings we've got another 2.5. I still feel like 6.5 million is not even close to what we need. Is there any more discussion, or do we, between now and the second hearing, or is that it?
Well, a couple of things. We have been working every year to increase the amount of paving rehab in the budget, and every year in the budget we bring to you, we have increased it for the past several years. We also look at year-end allocations as we're in the 3 weeks to go in this fiscal year. We're looking at what potential surplus we'll have. At year-end, we always make another allocation. So the amount you're seeing is what we will have on September 30th. I would project that we will add more to it in the year-end allocation. So the budget's balanced right now.
I don't understand why we say we'll look for a contingency. Contingencies are extraordinary items. We know every year we spend a lot more on paving. And I pointed out, Mayor and Council, Lake Nona is a perfect example. Lake Nona is a 20-year-old phenomenon. Those roads need not just pothole fixing, they need repaving. We're throwing a lot of money in the tax bucket, and each year I say we're increasing our budget. Great, but it's not adequate. And no one has been able to prove to me that it is adequate. So I'm going to go along with this one, but if we don't change that without a good explanation, I don't know how we support the budget, because we're kidding ourselves if we think that's one item. There's probably others, but that's one item that we know is woefully short, and we just kind of seem to keep pushing the can down the road, as they speak. Thank you.
Further discussion? Further discussion. Okay. Ms. Diaz, I see that you've turned in a request to address council, but you didn't check which of the items. So we have the budget, we have the downtown CRA, and we have the NID. Okay, come on up.
Good afternoon. My name's Hannah Diaz. I believe I need to state my address. Is that correct?
Please.
410 East Crystal Lake Street. I'm sure all the commissioners have seen my emails, which have gone unresponded to, which is why I'm here. I would have preferred to speak in some other setting, but as you all know, the hierarchy of this budget, as a citizen of Orlando, we come before this whole council. So with respect, I am here to speak in regards to the budget and what the budget has turned into for this city. And What I would ask for from the commissioners is a response to my emails. I'm sure you all have seen them. OPD has seen them. The sheriff has seen them. Major concerns, including what you all are doing with the money, including all these funds, loan funds, CRAs, which are all pretty much subjectively tossed out to friends, I would call them, but we as citizens don't have much of a say. I'm sorry, I'm a little bit nervous, but we don't have much of a say in these millions and millions of dollars that you hand out to corporations, developers that don't benefit all of the citizens of Orlando. Not only that, but the millions of dollars that go into Lou Gardens that I don't see them accounted for. They publicly publish how much money they get in and how much money they spend to maintain it. So those millions of dollars that are spent on that, where's that going to? The other thing of concern is the Spellman site, which I believe it's published that you say you don't know who caused the damage, but I believe it was contracted with NASA. So they have probably much more money than almost $9 billion to help clean up. And I think the budget is what, $500,000 for the cleanup site? And it's atrocious, really. The thing of concern, which some of you may be spiritually inclined to see, some others may not, but the lies about the Pulse shooting. I, as an attorney, have worked at another firm and spoke to many of the victims, and there's major lies happen that horrible night. I live a couple of blocks from there, so if anyone has been around there and knows about what happened, the citizens, the whole world really, deserves the truth. I don't think it's my place to put that out in the open right now, which is why I emailed you. Unfortunately, I didn't get any response back except for, I think, an assistant one time. Is that my time?
Request for comment on the budget itself. So all in favor of the tentative budget indicate so by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, and so the motion carries. Okay, budget hearing 2. This is the first of 2 public hearings for the adoption of the millage rate and budget for the Downtown Development Board for fiscal year 24-25. At this first hearing, City Council will consider for adoption the proposed millage rate and tentative budget. At the second hearing, City Council will consider for adoption the final millage rate and budget. Mr. Clerk, would you read the title of the millage resolution for the Downtown Development Board?
A resolution of the City of Orlando, Florida, establishing for the Downtown Development Board the ad valorem tax levy millage rate upon the assessed real property within the Downtown Development District of the year 2024.
The proposed millage rate for the DDB for fiscal year 24-25 is 1 mil, which is 73.07% lower than the rolled back rate of 3.7132. Is there a motion to adopt the proposed millage rate?
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Stewart, second by Commissioner Sheehan. Martin?
Mayor, on July 15th, the City Council, on behalf of the DDB, set a proposed millage rate of $1 per $1,000 valuation. Like the city millage rate, the DDB's rate was submitted to the property appraiser by the August deadlines. For the trim notification process, the millage rate is within the parameters outlined by state formula and has not changed from the prior year and is to maintain current board-delivered programs.
I do not have any requests for public comment on the millage rate resolution. Is there discussion? Hearing none, all in favor indicate so by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, and so the motion carries. Mr. Clerk, would you read the title of the budget resolution for the DDB?
A resolution of the City of Orlando, Florida, adopting the annual budget of the Downtown Development Board for the fiscal year beginning October 1st, 2024, and ending September 30th, 2025.
Is there a motion on the tentative budget? Motion by Commissioner Stewart, second by Commissioner Sheehan. Martin?
Mayor, the total proposed budget for the Downtown Development Board is $4,500,880. That is the same budget as presented at the July 15th budget workshop. Budget materials detailing this information are presented to each commissioner and posted on the city's website since July 23rd.
Thank you. I don't have any requests for public comment. Is there discussion? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion indicate so by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, and so the motion carries. Okay, let's go to hearing 3. It's the first of 2 public hearings for the adoption of the millage rate and budget for the Downtown South Neighborhood Improvement District for fiscal year 24-25. At this first hearing, City Council will consider for adoption the proposed millage rate and tentative budget. At the second hearing, City Council will consider for adoption the final millage rate and budget. Mr. Clerk, would you read the title of the millage resolution for the Downtown NID?
A resolution of the City Council of the City of Orlando, Florida, and the Board of Directors of the Downtown South Neighborhood Improvement District levying an ad valorem tax at the rate of $1 per 1,000 of assessed value on non-exempt real property located within the jurisdictional boundaries of the Downtown South Neighborhood Improvement District, providing certain findings, providing for administrative millage adjustment in accordance with the Florida statutes, providing for the collection of taxes, providing for severability, correction of scrivener's errors, repeal of conflicting resolutions, and an effective date.
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Sheehan, second by Commissioner Rose. The proposed millage rate for the Downtown South NID for fiscal year 24-25 is 1 mil, which is 1.34% higher than rollback rate of 0.9868. Martin?
Mayor, on June 10th, the Downtown South Neighborhood Improvement District Advisory Council recommended their millage rate, and on July 15th, the City Council, on behalf of the Downtown South NID, set a millage rate of $1 per $1,000 evaluation. Similar to the city millage rate, that rate was submitted to the property appraiser by the August deadlines for the trim notification process. The millage rate is within the parameters outlined by state formula, has not changed from the prior year, and is to provide administrative and infrastructure projects within the district.
Okay, there's not a request for public comment on this matter. Is there discussion among commissioners? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion indicate so by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, motion carries. Mr. Clerk, would you read the title of the budget resolution for the Downtown NID?
A resolution of the City Council of the City of Orlando, Florida, and the Board of Directors of the Downtown South Neighborhood Improvement District adopting the fiscal year 2024-2025 budget for the Downtown South Neighborhood Improvement District, providing certain findings, providing certain budget accounting procedures, providing for severability, correction of scrivener's errors, repeal of conflicting resolutions, and an effective date.
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Sheehan, second by Commissioner Rose. Martin?
Mayor, the total proposed budget for the Downtown South Neighborhood Improvement District is $943,743. This is the same budget that was presented at the July 15th budget workshop. Budget materials detailing this information presented to each commissioner and have been posted on the city's website since July 23rd.
Okay, I don't have a request for public comment. Is there discussion? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion indicate so by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed? Okay, so the motion carries. We're going to recess the City Council meeting and convene the Board of Directors for the Downtown South Neighborhood Improvement District meeting. This is the first of 2 public hearings for the adoption of the millage rate and budget for the Downtown South Neighborhood Improvement District for fiscal year 24-25. At the first hearing, the Board of Directors will consider for adoption the proposed millage rate and tentative budget. At the second hearing, the Board of Directors will consider for adoption the final millage rate and budget. Mr. Clerk, would you read the title of the millage resolution for the Downtown South NID?
A resolution of the City Council of the City of Orlando, Florida, and the Board of Directors of the Downtown South Neighborhood Improvement District levying an ad valorem tax at the rate of $1 per 1,000 of assessed value on non-exempt real property located within the jurisdictional boundaries of the Downtown South Neighborhood Improvement District, providing certain findings, providing for administrative millage adjustment in accordance with the Florida statutes, providing for the collection of taxes, providing for severability, correction of scrivener's errors, repeal of conflicting resolutions, and an effective date.
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Sheehan, second by Commissioner Rose. The proposed millage rate for the Downtown South Neighborhood Improvement District for fiscal year 24-25 is 1 mil, which is 1.34% higher than the rollback rate of 0.9868. Martin.
On June 10th, the Downtown South Neighborhood Improvement District Advisory Council recommended their millage, and on July 15th, the Board of Directors of the Downtown South Neighborhood Improvement District set a millage rate of $1 per $1,000 evaluation. Like the city millage rate and the DDB millage rate, that rate was submitted to the property appraiser by the August deadlines for trim notification process. The millage rate is within the parameters outlined by state formula and has not changed from the prior year, and is to provide administration and infrastructure projects within the district.
Okay, we don't have a request for public comment on the millage resolution. Is there discussion? Hearing none, all in favor of the vote, all in favor of the millage rate resolution indicate so by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, motion carries. City Clerk, would you read the title of the budget resolution?
A resolution of the City Council of the City of Orlando, Florida, and the Board of Directors of the Downtown South Neighborhood Improvement District adopting the fiscal year 2024-2025 budget for the Downtown South Neighborhood Improvement District, providing certain findings, providing certain budget accounting procedures, providing for severability, correction of Scrivener's errors, repeal of conflicting resolutions, and an effective date.
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Sheehan, second by Commissioner Burns. Martin.
The total proposed budget for the Downtown South Neighborhood Improvement District is $943,743. This is the same budget presented at the July 15th budget workshop. Budget materials detailing this information have been presented to each commissioner and have been posted on the city's website since July 23rd.
I do have a request for public comment on this. Lisa Santilio? Lisa Santilio? Once, twice, okay. Discussion? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion indicate so by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, and so that motion carries as well. If there's no objection, we're going to adjourn the Board of Directors meeting. We're going to reconvene the City Council meeting simply for the purpose of saying thank you to the fiscal staff, Martin and the whole crew. At the next meeting, we'll take time to fawn all over you and tell you what a great job you are and buy some beers and all that type of stuff. But today, I think everybody is tired and would like to go home. So if there's no objection, we're going to go do exactly that. We're going to adjourn and go home. Thanks.